Well, hello, folks. All right, so this is going to be my version of a quick summary and a ending, at least my belief in the ending of the movie Parasite. Now, I've heard of the movie when it first came out, and of course, not it won the Oscar, which is kind of weird. I guess foreign movies have won the Oscar as the best movie before, so I figured I'll go ahead and check it out. And and just so people know, it is a Korean movie, South Korean movie to be more specific. It is not a horror, so if you're into Japanese or Korean horror movies, it's not a horror movie. It is a thriller suspense, and basically it's a movie that this movie doesn't really. What you doing, dog? This movie doesn't have I would say, doesn't have a good guy or a bad guy. So you really don't have like a James Bond where you got like a hero, or Avengers. Where you got Captain America or Iron Man, whatever, to root on, and they're fighting, the bad guys. So yes, there's no good guy, no bad guy. So the quick summary is that there's this. Korean family. They're all unemployed. There's a father, mother, son, and daughter. The son and daughter, I believe, are out of high school, so they're adults basically. Well, I guess in Korea you're not considered an adult until your 20th birthday, and they have a ceremony there called the coming of age ceremony. When Koreans turn 20, they officially become an adult. Yeah, but it's a father, mother, brother and sister. Yeah, and the brother and sisters are out of high school, and for whatever reason, maybe because they have no money, whatever. Neither the brother or the sister are going to college, and neither of them are working or doing any kind of work, and. And it all starts off with the son somehow getting a gig where he's tutoring this rich family, and then one by one the family finagles or wiggles their way into that rich family where the father becomes. Each of them get a different job in the household. So spoiler alert. I'll put spoiler alert at the beginning. And so it's not a horror. You won't see any ghost. You will see blood. You won't see any ghost. No ghoul. No long draping black hair. Coming down on the screen or anything like that. And this is a spoiler alert. So if you've gotten this far, you're like, okay, man, I'm out. I want to watch the movie. So the family, and that's why it's called Parasite. Is that they're in the movie? There's two parasite. There's that family that kind of snuck their way into because the rich family had no workers for them, and then this parasite family, through their conniving ways, got these other workers fired, and they somehow got hired on. Like I said, the movie doesn't really have a good or bad guy. The only person that may be redeemable, that you can actually root for, would be the I guess the rich guy, the rich guy that owns the house. He seems to own some sort of a gaming or computer company, because there's a scene where the dad goes to the rich guy's office, and he's surrounded by all of these gaming gears and gadgets. So the house has an old maid who I guess came with the house, and I guess if you're not familiar with it, a lot of times these $1 million homes will come with maids and butlers that they come. It's almost like they're part of the package. So if you want to buy this house, these maids and butlers and chauffeurs, whatever, they come with the house. So if you're buying a $20 million mansion in Martha's Vineyard. The maids, butlers, gardener, chauffeur, they all come with the house. They're part of the package. You can't get rid of them. What you doing, dog? Hey, no barfing on the floor, you dumb dogs. All right. So somehow they got rid of that maid, and there's a scene where the family goes camping. The rich family goes camping. The poor family kind of they go on a weekend camping trip. So the poor family kind of has like a party at the rich people's house. So it's downpouring, and I'm thinking I'm watching the movie and I'm thinking, okay, it's downpouring, more than likely, and it was no surprise. The family decides to come home early. The mom at this point is the new maid. She gets a phone call, and they're like, "Hey, we're 8 minutes away. Can you make some noodles for me?" And now they're like, "Oh shit, we got to." Of course, the house is a mess because they're having a little party, so they're doing a mad dash to clean the house up, and let's see here. I'm trying to remember if this was before or after the. Oh yeah. Okay, yeah. Now before that phone call, the old maid of the house, she comes in. You gotta know something's up. You're watching a movie, you're like, okay, man, it's downpouring cats and dogs, and yes, South Korea they do get typhoons, and that comes through the Korean peninsula, and it's raining cats and dog, and the old maid shows up. Her face is all kind of like she's been, I guess, not getting sleep. She looks tired, and there's some adornment, but basically she looks tired. So I'm watching, going, okay, this lady's showing up. It's downpouring. Something's up. Something's going to happen. And she tells the mother of the family, who's the new maid, that hey, she left something in the basement. If she can just let her in, she'll go get it. So the mom lets her in. I wouldn't have. I'd be like, tell me what it is. Because I was thinking, okay, tell me what it is. I'll go get it. I'll bring it to you out in the gate. But no, of course, that wouldn't continue the plot. So she lets the old maid in, and the way that they did the entrance to the basement is kind of creepy. There's no door, but it's like dark. You walk into the darkness, and then you go down these stairs, and then there's lights. So yeah, so when they go down into the basement, it's kind of creepy. It's like they're walking into a darkness. And let me mute. And yeah, I have my computer in a corner, so there's one behind me and to the side. Anyways, so she goes down there, and she, and it's taken her a while. So the mother, she goes down there to check on the old maid, and she's trying to push this shelf to the side. And she's like, hey, help me out. And then the lady goes over. I'm like, man, I wouldn't help her. What the hell? So she goes over and helps the old maid push this shelf out of the way, and they managed to get it open. I guess there was a racket or it was something underneath there that was blocking the wheels to keep the. And of course, it opens up, and there's a hidden passageway that goes down to a hidden basement, and I'm guessing, of course, this is a big multi-million-dollar house. So it and it was designed by a popular Korean. Of course, in the movie, it's some popular Korean architect, and he moved out of the house to go overseas or whatever. So there's sense it's no surprise that this hidden basement is there. So she follows this old maid down to this hidden basement, and down there is the old maid's husband, who's been living there for the last 4 years. And of course, I'm thinking to myself, okay, this only happens in a movie. This was reality. This is the red pillar to me coming out. If this was reality, women don't hang around. They skedoodle. The guy wasn't an invalid. He wasn't sick. There wasn't anything wrong with him. He was just living down there in that secret basement, and she was bringing him food and stuff. There's the bathroom. There's a little corner, a little cubby where he has his bed and everything, and there's lights down there. And he's been living there for 4 years. They get into a struggle. The lady's family, the husband, the son and daughter, they all follow her down there, and they trip on the stairs while going down into that secret basement. And the lady, of course, they all got smartphones. She takes a picture of them, or a video. She takes a video of them, while they're squirming around, trying to get it from when they fell down. And she's like, "I'm going to send this, to the homeowner, and get you guys in trouble." I was thinking, okay, wouldn't that get you in trouble too, lady? You kept your husband in the secret basement for 4 years. That not only would it get them in trouble, it would get you in trouble too. But of course, she wouldn't be that much in trouble because the only thing would happen. Well, I don't know. I mean, anyways, I don't know Korean law. Of course, that family could call the police and have them all arrested, including the old maid and her husband. So some things happen, and they get into a struggle. The Parasite family. Yes, like I said, there's two Parasite. There's the four family member Parasite, and then there's the ex maid and her husband. They're parasites because they're living off of this rich family, or they're Anyways, so they get into a struggle. They manage to get the cell phone away from the ex maid and her husband. They get into a struggle. They manage to take the ex maid out and her husband. They then kill him. The husband of the four, husband number one, I don't know. So he ties up the husband who's been living in the secret basement for 4 years. He ties him up, and then the ex maid, she gets kicked down the stairs, because at this point is when they get the phone call from the rich people that they're coming home. Hey, we're 8 minutes away, and the husband ties up the other husband. The maid lady falls down. So she gets kicked. She falls down the secret basement stairs, hits her head, and she succumbs. She succumbs to the. She doesn't die right away, but she succumbs to the fall. So basically, the end is that the quick synopsis of the ending is that the guy manages to untie himself, and the rich family is throwing a birthday party for their son, and he comes up through the secret basement. He grabs a knife, and there's something about Native American theme with this movie. The son of the rich man, I guess, is a scout, and I guess the scout leader is into, I guess, Native American Indian things. I don't know. Are they culturally appropriating? I don't give a damn. So he comes up with, and he grabs a big old kitchen knife, and he goes out, and they're in the backyard, and he goes on a stabbing spree, and I'm not going to give away who he stabbed, who he kills. But throughout the movie, the rich man complains about how because the dad becomes a chauffeur, and he complains about how stinky, or there's a smell, or a unpleasant smell that the dad gives off, and by the end of the movie, you figure it's not his clothes. The smell is coming from him. He himself is emitting the stink. So, and of course, the what I got from that stink is that because during all of the struggle with the guy stabbing people, the mom, she grabs a barbecue skewer, a big old one, stabs the husband who's been hiding in the basement for 4 years. She stabs him in the side, essentially killing him. And the rich guy, of course, nothing happened to his son. The son saw people getting stabbed, and of course, he's a little kid, so he goes into shock. He falls over, and they're trying to rush. He's trying to rush his son to the hospital, but of course, since he has the chauffeur, he doesn't have the key, so he asks the chauffeur, "Hey, drive me to the hospital." The guy just kind of looks at him because one of his family members has been stabbed. Not gonna say who. And then the rich guy is like, "Hey, just give me the key to the car." He grabs the key out of his pocket, he throws it, and it hits the other, the guy that's doing the stabbing, and the guy falls down because he's been stabbed by a barbecue skewer, and the rich guy walks over, and he's pushing the guy up, and he's grabbing his key, and he does this with his nose like he smells stink, and what I got from that is that there's that saying that rich people thumb their nose at poor people, and that's what I got from that when he mentioned that there's a smell that comes from the dad, and he got that same smell from that man that been living in the basement for 4 years, and I doubt the guy bathed much, so he probably just think. But that's what I got, was that he's a rich guy. He's thumbing his nose at these stinky poor people, and at that point the dad had enough. He's like, "Man, screw this." And he picks up the knife that's on the ground, and he lunges over and stabs the rich guy in the chest, pretty much killing him. And I was thinking, man, why did you go kill the only guy that has any redeemable other than him thinking poor people are stinky. But I was thinking, man, why the heck did you kill the only redeemable character in the movie? His wife, on the other hand, is what you would call the rich guy's wife. He's what you would call a kept woman. Way back in the days, where a guy was rich, or he was part of the aristocrat, the lady of the house, they were considered kept women because they didn't do anything. They had butlers, maids. Let's call that. I'm trying to think of. See here, a teacher for the kids, and the butlers and maids, of course, not only look after the house, but they looked after the kids. They had teachers that came in and look after the kids. So she didn't really do anything in the house. And that's the same with this guy's wife. She didn't do anything in the house. And there's a scene where he talks about that. It's like, I love my wife, but she can't do shit in the house. She can't cook. She can't clean. She can't do anything. And so she is the definition of a kept woman. Because they had a maid who cooked and cleaned after the house. She even looked after the kids. Now the rich family had a teenage daughter who's in high school, and they had a young son who looks like he's probably in elementary age, probably around. They never mentioned the kid. I think he looked like he's about 10 years old. Hey, dog. Yeah, and then there's a scene where she mentioned the son, her son, when he was 1 year old, had a run-in. So I guess the kid would be first grade. You're normally around 6. Yeah, so he would be. It was 4 years ago, so he would be around 10 years old. So he has a run-in with the basement husband. I guess that's what we'll call him, basement husband. I need to go look up the Korean name, but. So the kid has I guess it was his birthday party, and he snuck down to eat more cake. The basement husband is sneaking up to get food because he steals food from the refrigerator when everybody's asleep. The kid sees him. The kid thought he's the ghost. The kid again, faints and has a trauma, and she mentioned that at that time I had to take care of everything. My husband was out of town. I was like, lady, you're a kept woman. What are you complaining about? Be a mom for once. That was my thought. It's like, you know, this whole time you don't even know who your kid is. You don't even bother taking care of your kid. So this one time when your kid needs you, you're complaining that your husband's not there. So just be a mom for once. So like I say, the only redeeming character is the rich man. He loves his wife, even though he thinks she's useless. He still loves her. Doesn't cheat on his wife. Loves his daughter and son. Brings in the bacon so that they can live a rich life. And he dotes after them. And one creepy scene is that when the family comes home, and I'll close it on this. When the family comes home, they call ahead and say they're 8 minutes away. Of course, the Parasite family, they couldn't get out of the house in time, and the husband, the son, and daughter end up hiding underneath this huge coffee table that's in the living room, and the rich man's son decides in a downpour, in a freaking cats and dog downpour, decided he wants to go outside and set up a teepee and camp outside in a downpour. I'm thinking, what? I'm scratching my head going, okay, man. The kid's got a few screw loose. I mean, it's not just rain, it's like thundering, lightning. Damn moth. So the rich man and his wife decides to do. They're like, hey, let's sleep on the couch so we can see the kid. Yeah, the house has like this big ass like 20 by 10 window, and of course while they're on the couch, they decide to fondle each other. And I was like, oh boy, yeah, that is definitely a creep moment. If you're someone who's sneaking in someone's house, not trying to be found. Yeah, so basically the rich guy and his wife falls asleep. They manage to get out. And the ending. I almost forgot about the ending. So the ending, after all the stabbing and stuff, and the poor dad, picks up the knife and stabs the rich dad in the chest. He runs off, and the son, for some unknown reason, there's this rock that he was given as a let's see here. I guess he was just given this rock. It wasn't an award or anything. I guess some guy he knows. Well, actually, it was the guy that was tutoring the rich guy's daughter, 17-year-old daughter. He somehow was given this rock, and he decided to give the rock to the poor kid, or the poor parasite kid. So for some reason, that kid decides to bring that rock, go down to the basement. At this point, the basement dad, well, he's not a dad, the basement husband, he managed to untie himself, and he attacks the kid, and then he uses that rock, hit the kid over the head. It doesn't kill the kid. He wakes up from his coma like I don't know how long it's been. I assume it's only been a few months since he was in the coma, and he and his mom were put on trial, and they got probation, and then there's a scene where it shows that the reason that cops can't find the dad is because he ran into that basement. He ran into the secret basement, and he was doing Morse code, and his son was I guess up on a hillside with binoculars looking at the $1 million house, and he saw the light flash. There's some buttons in the secret basement you can press that will flash these stairwell lights. I don't know why I guess it's for the movie. I wouldn't know what purpose it would even be for. And of course, that kid was a scout when he was younger, and he wrote down the dashes and dots, and it was his dad communicating with him that he's in the basement. So at this point, is now the ending is where it leaves you to question. So the kid goes back home. He translates the Morse code. Like, hey, this is Dad. I'm in the basement, and here's what I've had to go through. And so the kid writes a letter, and I'm not sure how he got the letter to his dad, who's in the secret basement. But he writes a letter. He writes this letter, and he says that, hey, I'm going to go to college. Try to become rich and buy this $1 million house. And there's a scene where it flashes, and this is of course him thinking, because the scene kind of has that halo look, kind of like that halo, like you're dreaming look to it. So to me, and a lot of people also think that part where he actually buys the house and they move in, and the dad comes out from the secret basement, is him dreaming or thinking about that moment, because to me it kind of has that halo look to it, so it's probably a dream. Then it flashes back to him saying, I'll be there, you wait, Dad. So there's two questions: is the dad really in the basement? And the second is, did the kid really go to college, get some badass degree, somehow got lucky and became a millionaire? That one, I think the scene where they buy the house and the dad comes out from the basement, I think that's a dream. That's not real. And is the dad really in the basement? My thinking is yes, he really is in that basement. Because during the scene where it shows him in the basement, he mentioned that he had to bury the ex-maid, and he buried her in the backyard because of course that family moved out. The wife took her son and daughter, sold the house, and she moved out. So when they moved out, he took her decomposing. It wasn't decomposing, but anyways, so he buries her in the backyard. And my thinking is that during this scene where the son and the mother are sentenced, and they read out what charges were, and what they got probation. They didn't mention anything about the death of the maid. They mentioned the let's call that falsifying information and things like that, and then they mentioned self-defense, because they mentioned there's a news clip or news video that the kid watches when he gets out from the hospital from his coma, from being bashed in the head by that big ass rock. And yeah, the kid, and there's also a scene, I'm assuming it's the kid, he takes the rock, he puts it in the river, and, and walks away. Okay, I'm running out of voice here. So yes, there's no mention of that maid, so I think he really is in that basement. And will the kid ever become rich enough to buy that $1 million house? That of course, that part is left up to us. And you really can't say if he ever will become rich enough to buy it. My opinion, I hope he does, but in reality, poor people do become millionaires and billionaires. Look at Bill Gates. Started this middle class kid, who got lucky, got into computers, and became a billionaire. Mark Zuckerberg, he didn't come from a billionaire or millionaire family. I don't know about Jeff Bezos, the guy who started Amazon. I don't. He may have came from a millionaire family, or a well-off family, but Bill Gates definitely didn't. And there are lots of self-made millionaires who didn't come from well-off family. They came from middle class or lower middle class families. So it's possible that, again, this is South Korea. Maybe he could have hatched a plan where he goes, while the house is empty and there's nobody there, he goes, breaks into the house, gets his dad out. Although I don't know if South Korea has a what's called that? I'm trying to think of that word. Darn it. Anyways, Yeah, and there's one, and there's the bathroom scene in that family's house. Kind of gives me nightmares. If you ever have a dream where you need to pee, which I do get if I drink too much tea or milk, or well, I don't really drink milk, but well, let's say you drink too much milk, water or tea. It might have to be tea before going to bed, and you have that you need to take a piss dream, and then you go to the bathroom and the toilet is like 3 feet off the floor. Yes, so make a note. Yeah, it's like 3 feet off the floor, and literally the ceiling is like literally, hit. And if you're a tall person sitting on that toilet, you would hit your head. Yeah, so that bathroom is kind of a dirty, grungy. It would be the kind of bathroom that I would walk into in my I need to take a piss dream, because I think it's your subconscious trying to wake you up, number one, and two, trying to keep you from wetting your pants. Because in these I need to take a piss dreams that I have, is always a weird type of bathroom. If I do find a bathroom and go inside, it's something weird, or there's something weird with the toilet. Kind of like in this Korean family's bathroom, the toilet is like, like I say, it's like 3 feet off the ground on the ledge. It's 3 feet off the ground on a ledge next to a freaking window, and the ceiling is right right above your head. If you were to go up there, you have to crouch down to get into the toilet. So yeah, that's I guess that's a bathroom creepiness. But all right, well, I'll end it here. It's gone long enough. Do definitely check out the movie. I do recommend the movie. There we go. So definitely check it out. It is a thriller, suspense movie. So it's got to build up. So if you're looking for an action movie or a horror movie where monsters jumps out of the corner, this is not one of those movies. It is 2 hours and 10 minutes. The running time is about 2 hours, and the 10 minute is for the ending credit. So it is a long movie. It's 2 hours, and some people mention, oh man, the movie has such a long build, it's boring. It is a thriller suspense movie, so be ready for a long build up. It's kind of basically, if you like the long build up like they had in The Joker, then you'll like this movie too, and you'll be able to sit through it. All right, thank you, and definitely check out the movie. I recommend it. And yeah, if a dub comes out, don't watch the dub, watch the sub. The dialogues are not very long, so they kept the dialogues pretty short. I guess whoever translated it kept the dialogues pretty short. They're on average, I don't think any one script or that the actors read was longer than 10 words. So you should be able to read it through and still look at the scene, basically. All right, thank you guys.